Tyler. Our next speaker is Vicki Escarra, who's speaking on women and microcredit, which is a nice seg from the talk that we just heard. Vicki is president and CEO of Opportunity International. Before that, she was CEO of Feeding America, and before that, she was Chief Marketing Officer for Delta Airlines, which matters because she's going to be talking today about the importance of the private sector in women's advancement. So thank you very much. Please welcome Vicki.
Great, thank you. Good morning, or good afternoon. How is everyone? Well, that was pretty bad. So it's really an honor to be with you all today and with this distinguished group of men and women to talk about issues that are actually involving all of us. And I want to begin my talk and actually end my talk with someone that I've met and I love, and her name is Betty. So you'll see Betty behind me. Betty is a very powerful woman. She is an unexpected leader in that she is a smallholder farmer from Uganda. She owns her own land. She employs people to assist her. She feeds her children. They're in the university. And she makes enough money to put aside savings. And so she, to me, is a real hero and an unexpected leader. And I visited with her a couple of times, and I love her and love the fact that she says that she is unstoppable, and she is unstoppable. So what is the crisis that we're going to talk about today? And certainly we're talking about a number of crises across the course of the 3 or 4 days that we're involved in. But I want to talk to you all about the fact that I believe we're in the middle of an economic crisis wherein women don't have the ability to have access to economic equality. And that means education, that means the ability to get capital, that means the ability to have jobs. And we know that half the world lives on less than $2 a day. We also know that 70% of those living in extreme poverty are women and girls. And so what that means in simple terms, if we put aside or hold on to the fact that socially we're really continuing to believe and pull and push together the issue of equality around gender rights, we need to push equally as hard around economic rights for women around the world. Really so important that they have economic rights. And so if you look at this purely from an economic perspective and you look at it from a perspective of what's good in the world, it is unthinkable that half the world is not being properly educated to get ready for the future. It's unthinkable. I read coming over an article from Warren Buffett was talking about in the United States that he views the most important turnaround for the United States is to educate and employ and move women in the workforce. And so that is what we're about. The solution is opportunity. It's been said that the world is full of talent, but lacking in opportunity, and I believe that. So I want to talk to you very briefly about a couple of other women in action, if you will. This is Anita. Anita was born in poverty in Nicaragua, extreme poverty. She actually worked from a very early age and paid her school loans to get an education. She then worked on the street selling rice and oil so she could make a living. And when an earthquake hit her small town in Nicaragua, she came together with the other leaders of the community, all of which were men, they were elders, and she said, we have to do something because we've got to get water back into our community. And they wouldn't listen to her initially, but the power behind Anita is that she went out into the community and began fundraising. And she fundraised in that community $5,000 to build an aqueduct. $5,000 in rural Nicaragua is a lot of money. $5,000 to build an aqueduct from the lake to her community so that they could have fresh water for her children to drink, so forth and so on. Anita today is the head of the city council, if you will, and a very powerful force. I also want to talk about Comfort. I met Comfort, I've only been on the job 8 months. I met Comfort my first week on the job. She's from Ghana. And she started a school 5 years ago with 3 children that she saw running around the street with no shoes and getting into trouble. And she brought them in, and through a loan with opportunity, there are lots of great microfinance organizations out there. We happen to be one. But she started a school, and now she has a school that is serving over 800 children, starting with preschool and going through secondary school. So think about how powerful Comfort is in her community. She is known, and she will tell you today that she's a leader, that people in this community in Accra, Ghana, look at her as a leader in her community. So this model actually does a great job of moving people out of the cycle of poverty and into sustainable and holistic transformation. We know that. It does it through scale, it does it through sustainability, and it does it through economic growth, which is very, very important. When you look at the impact around the work that we've been doing in the last 12 years, we have created 10 million jobs in the developing world in 24 countries. Jobs are really important in every country, certainly in the developing world. The impact is that 93% of the 5 million people that we serve are women. 95% of their loans are paid on time. $1,000 grows into $6,000 over 5 years. And so it is the gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving and giving. And so that's why this is one of many great impactful models that I would recommend for us to think about and invest in. And so in closing, I would simply offer to you that our vision is a world in which all people, men and women, have the opportunity to provide for their families and to build a fulfilling life, which is what we all want. Thank you very much.